Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Greatness does not come to those who wait. It does not tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, it's your turn. No, you have to chase it. You have to fight for it. You have to push yourself. Comfort is a silent thief. It creeps in slowly, wrapping itself around your life like a warm blanket, convincing you that where you are is good enough. It whispers in your ear, telling you to take it easy, to stay in the familiar, to avoid discomfort. But here's the hard truth: comfort is the enemy of growth. It stops you from reaching your potential, from becoming the person you were meant to be. When you stay in your comfort zone, you are choosing the path of least resistance. You are opting for security over possibility, ease over excellence. The problem with this is that nothing great has ever come from comfort. Every successful person, every leader, every innovator has had to step into the unknown, face fear, and embrace discomfort. Growth demands it. I think about a muscle. If you never push it, if you never put stress on it, it will never grow. It will stay the same, weak and underdeveloped. But when you challenge it, when you lift heavier weights, when you push through the burn, that's when growth happens. The same applies to life. If you always do what's easy, what's familiar, you will never develop the strength, the resilience, or the skills to go further. Comfort gives you a false sense of security. It tricks you into believing that staying where you are is safe, that avoiding challenges will protect you. But in reality, it is the most dangerous place to be, because while you sit still, the world keeps moving. Opportunities pass you by. People who are willing to do the hard things, who are willing to push themselves, will surpass you. And one day you will wake up and realize that staying comfortable has cost you everything you ever wanted. Fear is what keeps people in their comfort zones. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of not being good enough. But fear is just an illusion. It only has power if you allow it to control you. Every successful person you admire has felt fear. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. They felt the fear and did it anyway. They understood that failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of the journey. The truth is, real growth happens in moments of discomfort. It happens when you take risks, when you try something new, when you push yourself past your limits. It happens when you wake up early to chase your dream, when you put in extra hours, when you embrace the struggle instead of running from it. Every challenge, every obstacle is an opportunity to grow, but only if you are willing to face it. Some people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect plan before they take action. But perfection is a lie. If you wait until you feel ready, you will be waiting forever. Growth requires action. It requires stepping forward even when you are scared, even when you are unsure. The most successful people are not the ones who had it all figured out. They are the ones who started before they were ready. Comfort is tempting because it offers predictability, but success is never predictable. It requires you to take leaps of faith, to do things you've never done before, to stretch yourself in ways you never thought possible. And yes, it will be hard, it will be uncomfortable, but that's the point. That's where the magic happens. If you want to grow, you must get comfortable being uncomfortable. You must seek out challenges instead of avoiding them. You must be willing to fail, to learn, to improve. Because the moment you stop pushing yourself, you stop growing. And if you are not growing, you are falling behind. Failure is one of the most misunderstood concepts in life. People fear it, avoid it, and even let it dictate their choices. But the truth is, failure is not the end, it is the beginning. It is not a sign that you should quit, but a lesson that you need to learn. The bigger you fail, the bigger the lesson, the bigger the growth. If you never fail big, you will never learn what it truly takes to succeed. Most people play it safe. They aim for small victories, small risks, and small failures. But small failures lead to small lessons, and small lessons lead to small progress. The most successful people in the world, those who have changed industries, created new possibilities, and built legacies, are the ones who were not afraid to fail on a massive scale. They understood that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a tool for improvement. You think about some of the greatest minds in history. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before he created the light bulb. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. These people did not let failure define them. Instead, they used it as a stepping stone. They learned from it, adapted, and came back stronger. That is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who stay stuck in mediocrity. The problem is that most people take failure personally. They see it as a confirmation of their limitations instead of an opportunity to grow. When they fail, they assume it means they are not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. But failure does not mean you are a failure. It simply means you have found one way that does not work. It means you have gathered information, insight, and wisdom that you would not have gained otherwise. Some of the best lessons in life can only be learned through failure. Success does not teach you nearly as much as struggle does. When you win, you celebrate, but when you fail, you reflect. You analyze what went wrong, where you need to improve, what you could do differently. And that process of reflection is where real learning happens. Without it, growth is impossible. The key is to fail forward. Too many people let failure paralyze them. They stop trying, stop believing, stop pushing. But the ones who truly succeed take their failures and use them as fuel. They extract the lesson, make adjustments, and come back stronger. They understand that each failure brings them one step closer to success. If you want to achieve something great, you must be willing to fail greatly. You must take big risks, step into the unknown, and embrace the possibility of falling flat on your face. Because every big failure is a lesson in disguise, and the people who learn the most are the ones who dare to fail the biggest. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and goes like the wind, unpredictable and unreliable. One day you wake up energized, ready to take on the world. The next day you feel drained, uninspired, and unwilling to move. That's the problem with motivation. It cannot be trusted. It is temporary, fleeting, and inconsistent. Discipline, on the other hand, is solid. It does not care how you feel. It does not rely on inspiration. It is the difference between those who succeed and those who only dream about success. Most people wait to feel motivated before they take action. They tell themselves they'll start working out when they feel ready. They'll study when they're in the mood. They'll chase their dreams when the timing is right. But that moment rarely comes. Motivation is a luxury. It shows up when it wants to, and it disappears just as quickly. Discipline is the solution. It does not ask for permission. It does not wait for the perfect conditions. It shows up every day whether you feel like it or not. Think about the greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most influential leaders. Do you think they rely on motivation to get up at 5 a.m. and put in the work? No, they understand that motivation is unreliable, so they build habits. They train their minds to push forward regardless of how they feel. They operate on discipline. They know that showing up every day, consistently putting in the effort, is what separates winners from everyone else. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to do it. It means waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It means putting in extra hours when no one is watching. It means making sacrifices, staying committed, and staying focused even when it's hard. Success does not come from bursts of inspiration. It comes from the ability to keep going when inspiration is long gone. The problem is that most people rely too much on how they feel. If they're tired, they skip the workout. If they're uninspired, they avoid the work. But feelings are unreliable. If you let them control you, you will never be consistent. And consistency is the key to mastery. It is not about being great one day. It is about showing up every day, even on the days when you don't feel like it. The truth is, discipline creates freedom. It gives you control over your life. When you build discipline, you don't need motivation. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment because you are always ready. You become unstoppable because you are no longer a slave to your emotions. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going. The people who succeed are not the ones who always feel motivated. They are the ones who have trained themselves to push through no matter what. They have built the habit of excellence, and that habit is what sets them apart. Success comes with a price. Every dream, every goal, every vision of a better future demands something in return. You cannot have everything and still expect to grow. If you want to achieve something great, you must be willing to give up something in the process. That is the reality of sacrifice. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Most people want success, but they are not willing to pay for it. They want the rewards without the struggle, the results without the work. They want to be fit without changing their diet, wealthy without working harder, successful without sacrificing comfort. But that is not how life works. The future you want will not just happen by itself. It will require you to make hard choices, to let go of distractions, to prioritize your goals over short-term pleasure. The greatest achievers understand this. They know that time spent on meaningless activities is time taken away from their future success. They know that partying every weekend, watching endless hours of TV, or scrolling through social media may feel good in the moment, but it does nothing to move them closer to their dreams. So they make sacrifices. They wake up earlier, work longer, stay focused, and invest in themselves while others waste their time. They are not lucky, they are disciplined. Sacrifice is not just about giving things up, it is about trading them for something better. You are not losing when you sacrifice, you are choosing to invest in your future. Every hour you spend learning, training, and improving is a down payment on the life you want. The question is, are you willing to make that investment? Are you willing to put in the work when no one is watching? Are you willing to say no to distractions and yes to discipline? It is easy to look at successful people and only see the results, the money, the influence, the achievements, but what you don't see is what they gave up to get there. The late nights, the early mornings, the missed events, the failures, the rejection. Every victory they have came with a cost. They were willing to sacrifice, and that is why they succeeded. The biggest enemy of success is comfort. If you are unwilling to sacrifice comfort today, you will struggle tomorrow. If you refuse to give up bad habits, they will eventually catch up to you. If you are not willing to push yourself beyond what is easy, you will never reach what is possible. The choice is yours. The future you want is waiting for you, but it will not come without a price. You must be willing to let go of what is holding you back. You must have the discipline to stay committed, the courage to make sacrifices, and the mindset to keep going even when it gets hard. Because at the end of the day, you will either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is one leads to success and the other leads to disappointment. The people around you shape who you become. Whether you realize it or not, your environment influences your mindset, your work ethic, and ultimately your success. If you surround yourself with people who are unmotivated, negative, or complacent, you will absorb their habits, their mindset, and their limitations. But if you surround yourself with fire people who push you, challenge you, and demand more from you, then you will rise to their level. Energy is contagious. If you spend time with people who constantly complain, make excuses, or settle for less, you will start to do the same. Their mindset will rub off on you. You will begin to lower your standards, procrastinate on your goals, and accept mediocrity. But when you place yourself in the company of ambitious, disciplined, and driven individuals, everything changes. Their fire ignites your own. Their hunger makes you hungrier. Their dedication forces you to step up your game. The truth is, if you are the smartest, most driven person in your circle, then you are in the wrong circle. You should not be the one always leading the conversation, always motivating others, always pushing forward while everyone else stays stagnant. Instead, you need to be around people who inspire you to grow, people who make you uncomfortable because they operate at a higher level. Growth happens when you are challenged, not when you are comfortable. Look at the most successful athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders. They did not get to where they are by being around people who settled for average. They placed themselves in environments that demanded more from them. They sought out mentors, peers, and competitors who forced them to level up. They understood that if they wanted to achieve greatness, they needed to be around greatness. Your circle should be filled with people who remind you of your potential, not your limitations. People who don't let you slack off, who call you out when you are making excuses, who push you beyond what you think you are capable of. It is not about surrounding yourself with people who only praise you. It is about being around people who challenge you, question you, and push you toward excellence. The harsh reality is that not everyone in your current circle is meant to go with you to the next level. Some people will hold you back. Some will doubt you. Some will resent your growth because it forces them to confront their own complacency. That is why you must be selective. You must protect your energy. You must seek out people who bring value to your life, not those who drain it. Success is not just about hard work, it is also about positioning. If you want to rise higher, you need to be in the right environment. You need to be around winners. You need to surround yourself with fire. Because when you do, that fire will spread within you, and there will be nothing that can stop you from becoming the person you were meant to be. Applause is temporary. It fades as quickly as it comes. One day people cheer for you, praise you, admire you. The next day they move on, looking for someone new to celebrate. If your goal is to chase approval, you will always be running, always seeking validation from people who may not even remember your name a year from now. But legacy, that is different. Legacy lasts. It is not built on applause. It is built on impact. Too many people live for recognition. They make decisions based on what will get them the most attention, the most likes, the most applause. But the problem with that is simple applause does not mean you are making a real difference. It only means you are entertaining people in the moment, and moments pass. What matters is not how loud the crowd cheers for you, but what you leave behind when the noise is gone. True greatness is not about being noticed, it is about being remembered. Not for the claps you received, but for the lives you changed. The most influential people in history, those who left a mark, did not do it for fame or popularity. They did it because they had a purpose bigger than themselves. They were driven by impact, not attention. They understood that their work, their effort, their sacrifice was not about being liked. It was about leaving something behind that would outlive them. The world today is obsessed with being seen. Social media has made it easy to chase applause, to seek validation, to measure worth by numbers and reactions. But real success is not measured by followers or views. It is measured by the effect you have on others. It is measured by whether you inspired, taught, helped, or changed someone's life in a way that still matters long after you are gone. Fame is a distraction. It convinces people that being known is the goal, when in reality making a difference is the only thing that truly matters. Some of the most powerful forces in history were not the loudest. They were not the ones constantly in the spotlight. They were the ones who worked relentlessly behind the scenes, building something that would stand the test of time. The question is, what are you working for? Do you want people to clap for you today, or do you want to build something that will speak for you long after you are gone? Because if you focus on applause, you will always need more. You will always be chasing approval, adjusting who you are just to please others. But if you focus on legacy, you will stay true to your purpose. You will understand that what you are doing is bigger than temporary recognition. Your name, your reputation, your legacy will not be defined by how many people clap for you. It will be defined by what you built, who you helped, and how you changed the world. Applause dies, legacy lives. So ask yourself, what are you really chasing? Do you want applause that fades, or a legacy that stands the test of time? Because at the end of the day, the noise will die down, the spotlight will shift, and the world will move on. But what you build, what you give, and how you impact others will remain. Focus on the work, not the recognition. Focus on the difference you make, not the approval you receive. Because applause is just an echo, but legacy is forever.